take the motherfucking game. Bring it back to the realness from which it came.
Hey, what up, though, everybody? It's your girl, Red. It is that deep. We ready to get into this Gemini season. Yes.
I'm ready to cancel the whole season already.
Whatever. You don't like Geminis?
It's not that I don't like Geminis. I'm just a little bit tired of their shenanigans when it comes to the celebrating.
Okay. Well, this is season 1, episode 7. Lucky number 7. That's one of my lucky numbers. My birthday is 7/29. So love the number 7, 2, and 9. So yeah. What you been up to, Juan?
I just been laying low, you know what I'm saying? Just enjoying this beautiful world that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
We had some great weather. Like, even the days where it was extremely hot, I was extremely comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't humid. So when the heat is not that humid type of heat, I kind of like bask in it because I'm like a summer baby. So I love the sun. And it was great.
So that's what it was, the humidity being low?
Yeah.
So that's why I felt it didn't feel as hot.
Exactly.
Oh, that makes sense.
It was enjoyable heat. When that humidity, like tomorrow is probably going to suck because it rains some.
Right.
That's going to increase the humidity. So it's going to be terrible.
I was wondering why. I'm like, damn, it's 90 degrees, but I feel great.
Yeah. And then it was like a nice little breeze that would come through every once in a while. I had the air on in the house. So the house was on 70, but the outside was all right with me. I enjoyed it.
You can't go out. You can't live without that air, huh?
No, I need to be cold in the summer and warm in the winter. Yeah.
Well, me,
I spare no expense when it comes to my comfortability.
So you're not like how I used to be back in the day.
Yeah, we gotta wait till July 1st before we turn on the AC. No, I am not like. As soon as it's hot, it's on.
What about the heat?
Same. As soon as it's cold, the heat is on. Like, I do not spare any expense when it comes to those things.
Ain't that a shame that we grew up in that with that mindset?
I don't think it's a shame. I think, I understand it. I just don't live by it. Well, I understand people doing it because they felt the need to conserve because, maybe money was tight.
But what was you really conserving though?
I don't know.
By cutting the heat on one day, one extra day out the year.
I do not know, but it was worth it to them people. You bundled up in the winter and you was just hot.
That mindset, man, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Well, if you just taught a certain thing, it's just a big problem.
Yeah.
If you have the wrong mindset.
In my growing up years, I feel like I grew up real fortunate in that way. My stepfather was really big on a comfortable household.
Okay.
So on our neighborhood, and we talking about the 80s when central air first became a thing, we were like the first and only house on the block to have central air in our house. I just remember telling all my friends, like, oh my God, we got this air conditioning and it come out the heat vents. Like, It was so exciting. And everybody's like, what? And they'd come over and they'd be like, dang, that's sweet.
Right.
So yeah, he was real big on those. He didn't like being uncomfortable either. So I didn't experience growing up not having heat and not having air.
Well, I don't think I had
in my house.
I don't think I had central air until I turned about 27.
Oh my God. I've had it since I was about 7 years old. Literally, my life has been central air.
Right.
And when I was moving out on my own, like that was my one requirement of an apartment, like has to have central air because I don't know life without it.
Right.
That was just one of my many blessings, growing up in middle class.
Well, you know what? I don't know what class I was in. I mean, my dad was in the streets, so at one point we was rich, and then when he went to jail, we was we didn't seem poor, but it's just like
it was different. I'm sure
it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys who have lived that particular story had a lot, then didn't have quite so much. Well, anyways, I want to get into this season, this episode. We got about, 90 minutes to run through some things that's going on in the world. I want to touch on this Gemini season because, last episode, before last, I touched on Taurus season.
Right.
We're out of Taurus season. We're into Gemini season. So Geminis are super dynamic individuals. Some of the people that we love the most or hate the most in the world just happen to be Gemini. So you got Tupac Shakur.
My dog.
My baby. Kanye West.
My brother.
Donald Trump.
My boy.
Marilyn Monroe.
I like her.
Okay. Johnny Depp. He's in the news. That's why I picked him.
Oh no, Depp.
He's
That's
the one who just won the case against his
the court trial.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they wilding out on there.
Yeah. And then Morgan Freeman, a Gemini. So very dynamic personalities. They're the twins, so they are the sign of duality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They have those two sides. They are ruled by the planet Mercury. So they're the planet of communication. So this little notebook I carry around, these are kind of like my notes, but they're not all about the podcast. It's all kinds of shit in here. So like for Gemini, their phrase is I think, because they think a lot.
Okay.
They're the thinkers. Their aspiration is wisdom. And what else did I want to say about them? The twins, I think, wisdom.
Crazy.
Everybody says that they're crazy. I've never had a problem with them, but I know that they tend to make everything about themselves.
Okay.
Like they make every conversation about them. So that's something I feel like they definitely do. But they're not great to talk to me all the time because they're kind of scatterbrained.
Right.
So like they can talk about a vast amount of things, but they can't stay on topic. That'd be driving me crazy about them a little bit.
I think my issue with Geminis is, like you said, they have them two sides.
Yeah.
So one minute they're just nice, sweet, caring people, and then they just flip. And once the flip happens, it's not really even a warning, not a switch, a warning switch or nothing. They just flip. So now it's like, damn, it's almost like in a sense like, damn, you fake now, or you're not the person that I was just all into. You know what I mean?
Yes, and they are known to be two-faced.
Two-faced, 1,000%. That's what it is.
And one thing I do know about them, especially the women, is they will tell your business. I would tell anybody, do not tell a Gemini woman your business. She will tell your business. The men can be like that too. Like I find the men that are a little bit messy, and Gemini is actually one of the only signs I've never dated. Ever. Like I've never dated. I've tried to, like I've met them and I just couldn't get past like I don't know.
Well,
it's just kind of like a weird vibe all the time. And it's like, they just say weird, sporadic shit. And I'm like, well, what?
Yeah, me being a Leo as well.
Yeah.
I've dated a lot of them. They're actually pretty attracted to me. So even like when I really first got on the dating scene, it really started to kick off as an adult, like around about 19 with a Gemini, and I battled with that Gemini back and forth for a long time. And we were work well in short periods of time. So we couldn't be around each other 3 months out the year. We could be around each other 3 months. Some other 9 months we need a break.
I can see that being a thing. So they are ruled by the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication. We are ending this funky ass Mercury retrograde tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of the retrograde. Thank freaking God. Have you felt the effects of it?
I didn't know we was in the retrograde. What exactly is the retrograde?
So Mercury's retrograde is when the planet Mercury appears to be moving backwards. It's not really moving backwards. It's just that because of all the planets are moving in certain times of the year, it appears that it moves backwards. And what happens during the retrograde is there's communication problems because that's the planet of communication. So you'll have problems like with banking, with electronic devices, with traffic. I read that this time will specifically be harder on Leos and Sagittarius.
Oh, okay.
And
that makes sense.
Because of that, I really kind of minced my communication. Like I didn't have any communications with anybody on anything that was like important because I didn't want it to be miscommunicated. Okay. Because that's what can happen. Somebody can misunderstand, or you don't say something quite the right way, and then it, gets everything thrown out of whack. And so my cousin had sent me an article like Sagittarius and Leo's gonna have it the worst this retrograde. I'm like, oh. She was like, yeah, so that means we gotta shut up, cause I'm like, I'm with you, I'm shutting up.
Okay. Yeah. So that's funny because one of my business partners is he's a Sagittarius, and we getting our ass kicked on this project that we're working on right now. Yeah. And nobody is fulfilling the obligations that they said they would fulfill.
Is stuff coming late, like packages and things?
It's just work late. Just not doing what they was supposed to do when they supposed to do it. keep putting shit off.
It is not a great time. So yeah, Friday, June 3rd, I'm ready to set fire to the rain on a few people. I just had to wait because I'm like, I don't need no incidents. I need my communication to be clear and concise.
Right.
That's when it's over.
Okay.
Obviously.
So Friday.
I
think P Valley coming back on Friday too.
P Valley, you watch that?
Yeah,
you can stomach it.
I watch all the shows. Yeah.
A lot of guys couldn't stomach it because of the sexual stuff.
Right.
The guys.
Right, but it's almost like that's in every. Every
you really can't avoid it. This one I think was a little bit more explicit in a way.
Right.
Like you didn't see anything, but it was just like more time on it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just kind of like a fleeting moment, but these were like scenes.
Right.
So a lot of guys, because they heard about it, refused to watch it or watched it, saw that and was like, nah, I ain't watching it.
I like that actress who plays, I think her name, she plays Mercedes.
Everybody like Mercedes. Mercedes' Last Dance.
Yeah, I like Mercedes. Her Last Dance. I was waiting for that Last Dance.
I know, right? Mercedes was cold on that pole, but I like Miss Mississippi.
I like Miss Mississippi too. She was smooth, and she, especially when she got on and started doing her own thing.
She was pretty. And then I liked Autumn Night, the star, the one who ended up buying the club.
Okay, wait. Mississippi. Oh no. Mississippi was the shy one, right? The one that had the boyfriend and he was abusive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I really like Mississippi. Oh my god.
And then Autumn Night was the one who was kind of like the star.
Okay,
Autumn is kind of based on her life.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Her losing her kid and stuff like that. Autumn Night and Miss Mississippi are both Leos.
Okay, I like Mississippi. Hey Mississippi.
Hey Miss Mississippi. I don't know their real names. I think the Autumn is Ilerica or something like that. Mercedes is Brandy.
Okay.
And I want to say Mississippi's name is like Shannon or something like that, but I can't remember it specifically. But yeah, I can't wait. But I'm gonna let it build. I don't like to watch a show, one by one.
Oh, okay.
I gotta have like 3 episodes to watch.
Oh, you like to binge a little bit?
I like to binge. I've gotten spoiled.
Oh, okay.
You're not spoiled?
No, I like to watch it in real time.
I think I will be less spoiled by it if I watched a lot of TV.
Right.
Like people who watch more TV, I think they're okay with week by week because they have other things. I don't watch TV. So when I have a show I do enjoy, I kind of want to have a few to look at. I still got to see Force. I didn't even watch Force.
Oh, yeah. Force was dope. I like Force. It was dope.
Yeah,
dope.
I saved that one and I still haven't watched it. So another thing that's in the news is this beef between DL Hughley and Monique. What's your take on it?
Well, I mean, my take is kind of biased because I just don't really care for DL that much.
So take your bias out. Just take your bias completely out and just think of the information. And what do you think?
I really can't take the bias out. I can't stand what he represents as far as.
What does he represent?
I mean, what I feel he represents. I just feel like he would do anything for a check. And I just don't respect people that will do anything for a check and will say anything and promote things to the community.
Promoting Kentucky Fried Chicken or something? Like, what did he do?
Man, he was promoting that.
I just know whenever he says something, I disagree.
Right.
Like,
right. It's just like
this nigga go again. That's how
he's just working with that one political party and talking about that one Rona whatever Rona shot and all. I mean, just.
But so many of them did that. If you hated them all for that, then you just would hate them all.
Right. I do.
Pretty much all of them did.
Yes, I hate them all. I mean, I don't hate them, but I just dislike them. But I think Monique is a person who feels like she's been victim abused a lot in that industry. So
she's not gonna stand for nobody's shit. Period.
Right? Because when when people keep picking at you or fucking with you and everybody else around you just accepts it, people tend to think that makes it normal and it's okay, and it's not okay, and there's only a point when you just get to your limit and you just fucking just spaz out.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think that she should just take stuff.
Right.
Because you had to do certain things to get to certain level, but some people just ain't about that. They like, you gonna respect me.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with, like, a lot of people say that she's difficult because she doesn't just go with the program.
Yeah.
And the program is not always right. You know what I mean? And so you can't, it's not her reaction that's the problem. It's the system that everybody is in. That's the problem. But everybody only cares about getting a check.
Okay.
You know, make this money.
Okay, so Monique, she's had a few different beefs. So she had beef with Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey.
Right.
Now D.L. Hughley. It was another one too that I'm missing.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with anybody else. Lee, Oprah, Tyler, and it was somebody else, but I forget who it was.
I can't remember who that other one was, but when you see this pattern, it doesn't make you think that something with this person has to be?
No, because everybody else, the other people are on the same team. So they playing for the same team. So you always go against the person that's going against the grain.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go.
And Tyler and her have actually made amends, right? Because 50
No,
Cent
her and Lee Daniels.
Okay.
Lee Daniels actually came on stage at somewhere where she was at and apologized to her.
That's big.
You know, and I was kind of listening to her speak, her and her husband speak, and they said that Tyler Perry actually offered her like $500,000 or something like that to just be quiet about it. But, you know what I'm saying, they didn't, you know, she didn't accept it because, you know, it's about the principle. And even, Steve Harvey is the other person that she's beefing with. But even like with Steve Harvey and Netflix.
That's what she was beefing with.
Yeah, but even like with Steve, you know, when Steve was on the show and she came on the show and he just pretty much told her like, you need to make that money. You know, you need to be quiet and make the money.
And the audience probably like, where you go?
Yeah, you know, everybody want to give it a round of applause, but we want to make money. We do want to make money, but we see where the environment is going, just, you know, going along to get along.
I think that you want to make money, but you want to be able to look at yourself at the end of the day and know that, you know, you made a dignified decision. And if you can't do that, then you be like, man, fuck this.
We already rich.
You know?
Why we got to keep, even if you did it, at what point does it stop? When do you stop tap dancing? You know what I mean? And being nervous in a particular room. You already rich.
Yeah. But some people are never going to stop because it's just too good to them.
Right.
And it, you know, they can't really see a reason for having pride because the pride doesn't get you anything.
You're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get you anything.
Monetarily.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But the shucking and jiving, it gets you notoriety, it gets you fame, it gets you fortune. And so a lot of people, they will give up the pride for that. And so
greed is a very terrible thing. And I mean, what else? How much can you do? How many islands?
And acceptance too, because most of these people aren't going against the grain. You know, they're part of the agenda. They're part of the plan.
Right.
So they're being accepted and making money. Shit.
I think that I've been on the opposite side of popularity for so long. As far as I'm like very popular, but I'm not popular like amongst the people who just do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've always been that person that will be willing to stand alone on something that I believe in. Like, y'all know when we was leaving that day and we was talking about if men can have a biological clock. I'm yes, they can. Y'all all like, no, they can't. And I'm just like,
oh my God, this woman is crazy. You was not letting that go.
No, and then I went home and I Googled that shit. And I'm like, I know what I was talking about. I didn't know why I knew that, but I know that I knew that I was right.
Right. Yeah.
So I've always been one of those people that wasn't afraid of that, even though I don't like it. Like, I don't like being put in that position where I'm the one that's going against, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to back down from it at the same time. I'll just stand on it like.
Right, yeah. You got to stand on what you believe in. Even with this whole Monique and DL situation, I think it was bigger than the actual contract and headline. Well, I don't see her acting a straight fool on him like she did on stage, which everybody loved. You know what I mean? Because I heard half the crowd left after she was done, and they seemed like they was cheering her on from the videos that I watched. It don't seem like she would go through that much to go against them if she really didn't believe she was the headliner. You know, but also you could tell that it was something else that was picking at the situation.
Yeah, it was one of those things that probably built up, and she finally just said, "F this, I'm gonna say what I gotta say."
Because and
then ran off the stage.
Being one of the kings of comedy, and riding with his homeboy Steve, and she beefing with Steve, and I'm like, well, one of them people too. Like, if I'm beefing with him, you know what I'm saying? If I'm shooting at him, these bullets can hit your ass too. You know what I mean? That's how I get down. But not real bullets.
Yeah, he's talking about hypothetical bullets. So how does a person know though when they are the problem? Like, what would you say is a sign where something's happening to you? And when do you know? Have you ever had a situation where you figured out that you are the problem? And how do you think a person gets to that conclusion? I asked this question on Instagram. I'm gonna read some of the replies, but I'm gonna let you think of that.
No, how I figure out you're always gonna be the problem to somebody, right?
Yeah, but how do you come to the conclusion where you can really say, like,
at the end of the day, if as long as you're doing things right and in a positive light, and you're doing the things that you say you're going to do, things that were agreed upon, and you do what you're supposed to do, I don't see how you can become a problem. You always go become a problem to somebody who has a different agenda as you.
But how do you know when you are the problem, though? Because sometimes a person you ain't never been the problem.
I don't know if I ever been the problem. I don't know. I personally don't know, but that has to come from somebody else's opinion.
No, that's something you can come to the conclusion of yourself. You can say, I keep having this same kind of experience with different people. So that's how I look at it. Right. I think that you got to know that you're the problem if you have a similar experience with different people. Like, you recycle the same experience with a lot of different people. Right. And it's not something that comes out well for you. Okay. Like, you lose in that situation. So eventually, I feel like if you keep repeating that scenario, then you have to kind of conclude, like, damn, maybe it's me. Right. Maybe I need to start approaching things differently. Maybe I need, to think more, or I don't know, pause 30 seconds before I speak, or you know what I mean? I think if you keep recycling the same experience, that you have to consider that if the problem could be you.
I can agree with that, but also you got to remember that 99% of the people do the same thing, and then 1% of the people run and control everything. So,
but I'm not even talking about like just in the whole of life. I'm talking about just like an even smaller interpersonal relationship. Even
smaller. Somebody is the one, that 1%.
Yeah.
So if that person is that 1% going against theories and ideas of 99% of the people that's around them, or him or her, then that person is always going to be outcast in the black sheep, and always going to be the problem because he's not going along to get along with everybody else.
So you're saying you kind of embrace the idea, if you are the problem, like maybe you need to be the problem?
Yeah, because nothing changes by being comfortable. Nothing changes. So it always takes some type of for a plant to grow. You got the seed, got to break through the seed and come through the soil. It always takes some type of friction to be able to move and change the minds. Because one thing I do notice, like personally about myself, is a lot of people don't understand me when I first start talking about something. But I'm already in my brain looking, in the future tense.
Okay.
So
let's take that. So do you feel like you get misunderstood a lot?
Oh, definitely. 100%.
So do you get misunderstood by most people? The majority of people?
I get misunderstood by, seem like people on certain levels.
But in the majority of your relationships, would you say you're more understood or misunderstood?
Coming from where I come from, I'm more misunderstood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're being misunderstood. Do you think it's because the people are closed-minded, or do you think it's because you're not expressing clearly?
I believe it's a mindset thing, and their mindset just hasn't got to the point. But if I achieve a certain amount of information and they don't understand the information, maybe I am the problem because I'm not figuring out a way to reach people in a way that they can understand. You see what I mean? So maybe that could be a problem if that's the goal. You know what I mean?
There's a saying, it's called milk before meat.
Okay, what that
So
mean?
that means like basically you don't give a baby meat first, you give it milk. So a lot of times when you're speaking to people, you're speaking to babies. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you know that you're on this level with somebody and that they're, on a different level, sometimes you got to give them milk. You can't just go giving them so much because they're going to be like, huh, what? Or, more than anything, they're going to get emotional.
Right.
I saw Dave the other day. Shout out to Tim Bridge.
What up, Dave?
I saw him the other day, and it was funny. His son, they was like trying to take me over to play with toys and stuff. It was cute. His mom's like, she doesn't belong to you.
Right.
But we were talking about that, and we were, we were just kind of expounding on that topic. What was I saying? Shit, I lost my damn train of thought.
No, you're saying giving them milk before meat. So.
Yeah, you have to make things understandable you gotta know your audience.
No, I get that. So like in my when I was younger, when party promoting, I would always dumb myself down.
Yeah,
that
can be a lot.
So like even when I talk now, like I say this certain stuff on the internet, and then people when they see me in public. And you know how I am in public. I'm like usually I'm just real laid back. But they see me in public and they like, oh shit, it's on. You know what I mean? And it used to be on like that when I was younger. But I'm just dumbing myself down. So it's almost like a radio station. So I can kind of they can tune into their frequency. To get them to listening to the channel. And then I try to drop a jewel or two, something I may have learned.
I feel like I used to dumb myself down because I would want to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I want to talk too. So I would just kind of go with the flow of the conversation that was being had. But eventually it was not authentic. And I'm like, I can't just, So what happens is I just became quiet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, knowing your audience, because again, when you give people too much, most people aren't okay with being like, oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do you know how much that takes for the average person to say they didn't know something? Or you know what I'm saying?
That's very hard.
when you're in a position where you're trying to sound smart, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you schooling them to some stuff they never heard of. So when you do that, their natural instinct, when they can't bring the facts, they're gonna get emotional.
Yeah,
and then you end up in an argument, and it's just like you exhausted all this energy for nothing because they're no smarter, and you might be a little dumber, but just for engaging in that.
But you're right. You're right about that. What was that saying? Wise men don't argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell who is who.
Can't tell the difference. You just like look at both of them dummies. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned to be quiet, but it can be kind of boring because I be wanting to talk.
No, you don't have to be
wanting to school, but
they pretend to act like they don't know. I mean, they act like they don't hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when you're not around, they start talking like you.
You think so?
Oh, 1,000% because the people
to be a fly on the wall to that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, people over the years, even from the liquor I drink, people were drinking this particular liquor before me, but nobody was ever talking about it.
Right.
Then when I started going on the internet talking about anejo, all of a sudden everybody just anejo, or even bigger than that, laws of attraction. And when I was talking about that 10 years ago, nobody was talking about it in my immediate community.
Yeah.
And now everybody is, the energy and, the laws of attraction, manifestation.
Yeah, everybody be late to the party a lot of the times. One thing I noticed on Instagram especially is that people will steal your swag. Like, I had some girls that follow me, and like, at first, it's okay for you to share anything I post. Like, I don't care if somebody share anything I post in my stories, but it would be just like, I would just like notice certain things. Like, you know how I love Tupac, and I love the Panthers, and I love, you know, Malcolm X, and, you know, just certain things. And then I would just kind of notice people kind of like saying the same stuff.
Right.
And kind of posting the same. So like, now you posting Tupac Tuesdays. Like, you ain't used to do this before. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like.
But that's the thing though. I mean, when you put something out there,
yeah,
it becomes to the public. But they might feel that way about the same thing, you know, the same way you feel about certain things. They might feel the same way. So, you know, it's almost like, oh, I can express myself. I remember back when I first got on Facebook, back in 07, 08, whatever time that was, and it was just so proper. It was so nice. Nobody cussed. And I came on that motherfucker, and I was cussing and wilding out, and I seen everybody think, damn, this motherfucker ain't getting in trouble. Like,
right.
And then I seen everybody personality, and like I said, in my immediate area, change.
It's the unspoken rule.
Yeah, they got vocal.
Yeah.
So now everybody fucking talking crazy, cussing, and I'm like, this is the worst shit ever. Why?
Yeah, I did not mess with Facebook for a long time. I was a MySpacer. Did you do MySpace?
Oh yeah, I was on MySpace.
I was on MySpace. That was my shit.
Man. I made a documentary back then. I had my little camera and shit, made a documentary back then.
MySpace low-key had the best format. You had your little top 10. You had your little music on your little page. When you come to your page, they can get you a little vibe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You put blogs on your whatever they called it.
Yeah, you can stroll down. Yeah.
It was just like, it was the best. Like, MySpace was literally like the best one of these. And everything else is like a sublet of those. Like, Instagram is a little bit like it, but not as much. And Facebook is a little bit like it, but not as good.
And MySpace came right behind after Black Planet, though, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
I never did Black Planet.
Oh yeah, I used to love.
I wasn't on the internet at that time.
Oh yeah,
I only got on MySpace to follow this guy that I was dating.
Right. Were you in the top 10?
I was.
Oh, you better be.
But I was like number 3.
Oh shit.
But it was guys ahead of me, like childhood friends.
Right.
Kind of like, excuse me, I should be number 1. So then I had to purposely make him like number 3.
That top 10 was a motherfucker.
Man,
motherfuckers be mad. Right? Oh yeah.
That top 10 would get your ass in trouble. So the question I asked on my story was, when should one realize they are in fact the problem? So this is what the people had to say. I'm gonna read some of these.
Okay.
When they realize the basis for every failure is consistently the same.
Okay.
When you have the same issue with others.
Right.
When they see all their exes happy in relationships.
Hey, no, that's true too.
I only have one ex that is married. I don't know if it's happily married, but he is married. But I only have one.
Okay.
That is married. That makes me feel good. They was all married.
Hey, that's like, crazy. That's crazy because that's some Leo shit. Because same thing I say, damn, all these relationships I've been into and people that I kicked it with, and they always said, act like I was the problem. Why haven't they found nobody yet?
Right.
You know what I mean? 10, 12 years, 13 years later. If you were that great, why you didn't found nobody?
Right. All right. Then this will say when they are alone and single. And then when multiple people have the same feedback in regards to your behavior. That is when, and I mean, I like how you said, like, sometimes you're the problem, but sometimes you like need to be the problem.
Yeah, but see, I guess you have to be unhappy. If you're unhappy, then you
should evaluate.
Then you need to evaluate. If you're happy and everything is going great for you, but people always saying something about you. You know what I mean? Like, why would I change?
Right.
Like, you know, what the fuck I need to change for if I'm happy? You know what I'm saying?
Because you burnt everybody that's gone.
You know, people will get upset because you won't change the way you are for what they want you to be.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I was good enough for you to fall in love with me at that time, or love me whatever way you love me, or like me. You liked how I was to get you. I was able to sleep with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or sleep with you either with protection or no protection, and you trust me that much to do all that, but then all of a sudden now, you need to change something. No. Don't. I mean, if you can't get along with people, don't be with people.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now here's another question I have. This was kind of lighting up Twitter. How long have you kept someone around knowing that they weren't the one?
Like as far as relationship-wise or sexual?
Relationship-wise. Like you knew this person was never going to be anything that they wanted to be, but you kept them around.
Me being a Leo, if I allow a person to get in my space and I agree to do X, Y, and Z, I don't really. I go with the flow. I just don't leave. You have to like do something to me to make me leave, or you leave me. If I agree to it, I rarely agree.
Been in a situation where like maybe you were dating somebody and they were like great, but you knew like you wasn't gonna have anything. You weren't gonna give them what they truly wanted, but you still stayed because there were other benefits.
Yeah, fucking. If it was someone I was having sex with and I enjoyed them sexually, then yeah, they can be fucked up and have issues. But my mind is only on that particular level. I'm not thinking past that, so I can extend that. I had women before who told me that they wanted particular things, and I just never really lied to them. Like, oh no, I'm not. That's not what I want.
Okay, and so then those women, they would still choose to deal with you.
They would choose to deal with me until
they couldn't take it no more.
Until they couldn't take it no more, and then they'll leave. But then what I used to try to explain to them even back then. Well, not even back then, but what I know now, 50% of me still might beat 100% of that motherfucker who's telling you everything that you want to hear. But at least I'm telling the truth, you know. So imagine having 100%.
So how long would you stay in a situation with a woman like that? So you don't leave that situation. You're saying that they will eventually get fed up and say, "Okay, I'm done.
Right.
I don't want this no more."
My loyalty just if I agree to something, I agree to it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm the type to get married and won't get divorced unless somebody divorces me.
The moment I know that I don't like see a future or want a future with somebody, I'm just gonna tell them, like, we need to break up.
But we come from two different type of emotions though. You coming from a woman's perspective versus a man perspective.
But I'm just saying, like, I've never dragged anybody alone while I tried to figure it out. Like sometimes men will drag women alone. Like they'll be lying to them saying, "I do love you. I do want to be with you."
They do.
They don't.
No.
They
really do.
No,
probably.
Men are actually admitting that they lie. That they're saying that they don't.
So what are they saying? That what reason why
they're doing it? Because it's something about the relationship that's beneficial to them. Maybe he lived with her. Maybe they split bills. Maybe the sex is really good, but he don't want to be with her. He's never going to marry her. Right. And she wants to be serious. She wants to get married, but he will still stay and kind of gaslight her when she's saying that it's not. And he'll be like, "Oh yes, it is," but he knows in his mind it's not. So
he will pretend that she wants to get married, and he'll pretend that he wants to get married too. Or would he say, "I don't want to be married"?
He'll pretend that he love her, and he don't. He don't love her like that. He don't love her enough to spend his life with her in any shape or form. He knows he's not.
But he wants to get married and share his life with somebody.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
but he know it's not gonna be her.
Well,
but he'll just still stay around because it's beneficial to him.
No, I think that's that's being fake, super fake, right? I mean, it's lying, it's being fake, but
people do it every day, B.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah,
but
they definitely do. They admitting to the shit.
So. That ain't my style. I
asked them like, why would you stay with somebody for 3 years? And they'd be like, it's beneficial to me. Like, oh, okay.
I mean, well, shit. But then on the flip side, that women stay with men.
I'm not saying that men are the only ones who are capable of this. Women do it too. I have not personally done it because, like I said, once I know, because I want that, I need to get you out the way.
I think
once I know that you're not going to be that, you got to go.
But yeah, but
because you
even
blocking my blessings now.
no, but even when I see women do that, I mean, they go off and they all feel that way, and they never seem to find what they're looking for, like for real. Like a lot of the time they don't. But maybe that's because it's something about whatever criteria list or these things that they want that it may not be realistic. You know what I mean? Or for the particular person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think for me personally that there's ever been anything I wanted that was unrealistic. But I do think what was unrealistic was me not even acknowledging that I had certain hangups about marriage altogether. Okay. Of like, feeling like I don't really know if I ever want to do this because, the way I grew up, and different things that I experienced, it kind of had my mind like, it may not be the best idea. You know what I'm saying? So, it would make me kind of like run away. She's a runner. She's a drop star.
Right.
She's gonna run away when
when we were younger, when us guys were younger, we was always into the lovey-dovey, like we wanted to have wives and be married, and then it's like we got to a certain age, and then it started not being beneficial to get this done.
Y'all got burned. Y'all start having baby mamas. Y'all start having situations.
Right. You know why a lot of us have baby mamas? Because it was just implanted in our brains to, I got a baby mama. Oh, you got a baby mama. You subconsciously were programmed like this. Oh, like
baby mama experience isn't a positive one, but I don't know why y'all keep having baby mamas. Like, it's like, okay, if you had one and it didn't turn out good, I probably wouldn't go get another one.
Right.
But
I totally agree with that.
People will do it over and over, and then they'll show you they check stub and they say child support, right. And I only got $87 to feed myself, and you like.
but then, but that goes back to what you said. When do you figure out that you're the problem? Right. See, because I never been put on child support. Yeah. You see what I mean? And I never felt that way. So I'm happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, do I say that? Would I recommend that a person just go out and have a baby? No, hell no. Get your wife. And if you want that family structure, get a wife and do that. But I think the system on relationships is broken. I just it doesn't feel natural.
No, I saw a guy tweet the other day like, he's not a cheater, and but what he doesn't want to have to do is text a woman good morning and worry about how she feels. I'm like, damn, that's what you're running away from?
Wait, he said he doesn't want to text her good morning.
Have to worry about texting somebody good morning and worrying about how she feels.
You know what? Because guys, no, real talk though. Guys are not emotional as women. So women sometimes tend to.
Well, we feel every damn thing.
But sometimes women want us to understand how they feel, and we're not. A masculine man is not emotional like that. So the little shit that it might be big to a woman, but to us, that little shit that bother y'all, what the? Nobody's thinking about that shit. Exactly. You know what I mean?
This lady I used to work with, she used to crack me up because she had been married for a long time. And she would say that she would go home and rant to her husband about work. And she would tell me that she would drop all kinds of stuff in her rants. And her husband would just like totally not. She's like, yeah, I dropped my dick. And then I did. Like, she'd just be saying crazy shit while she's talking to him. And he would never catch any of it because he literally wasn't listening.
He just tuning out. Like.
And he just like, yep, wow. Right. And she's like, yeah, I dropped my dick. And then they was fucking in the parking lot. Like, she just started saying crazy stuff. And he'd just be like, yep, yeah, wow, really?
That's a little extreme of tuning out because I gotta listen to every word because I gotta make sure you ain't gonna try to kill me. You know what I mean?
Well, they were happily married, so I don't think he had that worry.
Right. So he goes through that phase where I think that type of male where he just let her have her way in a sense. So I believe that might be a little bit of beta energy where he just
I didn't pick that up from him at all. I think that he just kind of just knew she was rambling and that there was nothing to come of it.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? That all she wanted was agreeance, and he wasn't about to argue with her about the work shit.
I ain't about to do all that.
Yeah.
I ain't all that green shit. I'm not finna.
I don't think
Don't
it's
ramble.
anything to do. I think it's just like she rambling and you just like,
No, this don't ramble. Like, just talk about stuff that makes sense.
well, that's not women. We like to ramble.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Sometimes I talk to a guy and I just catch myself rambling. Like, damn, I'm really rambling. He don't
Right.
give a fuck about none of this shit I'm talking about.
Right. I mean, but it's just depending on the situation.
DNA. It's just like we want to talk to y'all, especially about everything.
Right.
And y'all just be like, what? Pantyhose.
Right. No. I mean, it's certain types of rambling that's okay. You know, it is rambling and not nagging.
Yeah.
So
We're
nagging.
not talking about nagging. We just talking about us rambling.
But it seems like that shit can go left real quick. You know.
Yeah, it goes left if y'all disagree. Look, we having a work beef. You just better say that bitch. No, that bitch didn't.
Right.
But no, she didn't. You want me to come up there?
Right. But I did.
Don't be talking about, well, honey, why did you do that? Excuse me? Like, now we fighting.
See?
Why would you question me?
And that's why some of us become the problem, because I can't do it. I cannot sit there and a person be wrong. I cannot sit there and say, oh, you right. Oh, no, I can't even play like that.
I can if I can see that they really feel like they right and they're really passionate about it. Because I'm not about to argue with you. I'm just kind of be like, oh, okay, you know.
No,
that
don't
worked
argue.
For you.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to just be like, oh, babe, you was wrong for that.
Right.
Because, you know, they're in that passionate mode and they might need to calm down. And sometimes that's a good thing to do, because sometimes they'll self-correct.
Right.
Sometimes they'll hear themselves and be like, oh, well, maybe I should do this and that. And then you're like, yeah, I think that's more reasonable. That's how I'm more wired.
Well, I think I have
hear yourself.
Not like in my personal relationship, but like when I'm just dealing with people, when I'm talking to people or in business or different things, I have to throw that those facts in, right? And then just let them, they'll self-correct, but they'll argue to the end, you know what I mean? You know, everyone want to have the last word, and you know, but no, I'm not just agreeing to agree. Yeah.
I think I will. I won't agree, but I just won't disagree.
Okay.
Again, I'm gonna just listen, nod, and I think when you do that, most people end up self-correcting because they done heard themselves.
You go silent.
Yeah, I'm just
already
like,
know.
like, I ain't saying nothing about this because I ain't about to chew my head off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To be stormed up out of here. Now I gotta sleep alone.
Right. No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just shut the fuck up and let them, handle that on their own.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
I brought up a point. Oh, I mean, cut you off.
ahead.
You about to say something?
Nah, go
Oh, okay. No, I brought up a point earlier on my Facebook. About masculine and feminine energy.
Oh Lord.
And what I've been thinking about over the last like couple weeks, that energy is just energy, and it doesn't belong to no gender and no ginger. Oh, damn, ginger.
no ginger. Doesn't belong to no ginger, no brunette, no blonde.
Ginger. I was at the market earlier today, and I was about to get some ginger, and I saw it in my mind.
Okay.
It doesn't belong to no gender. It's you can have masculine energy as a man or a woman.
Well, we all have both.
Yeah, or you can have feminine energy as a man or a woman. But they put so much influence on who's supposed to have each role. So
you sound a real gender fluid.
I don't know about that. But what I'm saying is, when you're dealing with a masculine man and then a masculine woman, one thing, this is my own opinion, I noticed that those two people, when they come together, they have a lot of sex. And they're usually
like
a side situation, and they have a lot of sex. But I believe masculine energy is combative in a sense. So if it's coming from a woman and a man, they have a lot of sex, and they're actually fighting each other subconsciously through the sex. So they're having rough, passionate sex, but they're really subconsciously fighting and being combative, because when they're talking in their natural form, they are, not arguing, but they're going back and forth, and they're both strong. But a man being a man and a woman being a woman, they're not going to fight. Like, if they're respectable, they're not going to fight. And that was just something I was thinking about, how the energy, even with the feminine energy. So if you have a feminine man or woman together, they're more likely to argue, real emotional arguments, and when they get together, they cry together. You know what I mean? Like, they're real emotional.
We cry.
Right. They cry together because of that energy being more emotional. So what you think?
I don't know. I don't know how much further I can expound on that. I would say definitely two masculine energies do have a lot of sex. I don't think it necessarily has to be rough sex or that they're fighting through it. I just think that they're aggressive. And I think their aggressiveness just kind of matches, and that's like, a thing for them. Okay. To be aggressive towards each other in a safe space. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, we can aggress now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So.
But I think that creates that, bring it back to the balance of the yin yang balance. Yeah. Because women that I've been with that have that masculine trait, independent, strong, this and that. But once you're in that bedroom and it's one-on-one, now it's the moaning and now it goes back to that balance.
Maybe
who's in
that
control?
Is their moment to be submissive too. Because when they're both so masculine, everybody's always in charge. Right. So when they get in that bedroom, I think they could be submissive to each other. Because I feel like I'm super submissive in the bedroom. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think that I don't think I'm as masculine as people think that I could be. I think I'm masculine in certain spaces, though. Okay. I'm masculine when I'm communicating. I'm masculine when it comes to how I feel, but only in certain times. Like a lot of times I'm like extremely timid, and I just like literally just won't say anything about anything, because in that space, like maybe it just doesn't matter enough for me to stress myself out, or you know what I'm saying, or go there. So I guess I know how to pick my battles. Okay. But in this sphere, when it's kind of like debate in this podcast, in this conversation, I could come off more masculine because I have a lot of strong views. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think relationship wise, I'm more of a listener. Like most people will be like, you're a good listener. And it's like, yeah, I do think I listen in conversation. I might not listen to some shit you tell me. Right. Oh, right. But when we just talking about a topic, you know what I'm saying? I'm a great listener, conversationalist. So.
But masculine energy needs that comfort to be, to have a natural function with life. Yeah. If you going back and this point of view is strong and this point of view is strong, and it's just like the shit will become draining. Yeah. So then that's when I believe the people step out more and more, because that person who's trying to get into that good space is almost like when you first meet someone. And that represent, even if that person is even masculine themselves, that representative knows how to ease their way in. But people forget what they did in the beginning to keep a situation going.
Yep. And then they be too bullheaded when you remind them. There'd be too much pride because they don't want to do what you say. You know what I'm saying? They just want to do what they want to do at this point. Well, what is this Kardashian, Kourtney? Okay. Kourtney, that's the oldest one, right? Kourtney Kardashian. She married Travis, whoever his name is. Travis Barker.
Travis Scott?
No, Travis Barker. That's Kylie.
Okay. All right.
So the one that got married. Yeah. So So she went to a doctor because she was having fertility issues.
Okay.
And the doctor advised her to swallow her husband's semen 4 times a week to increase her fertility.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, that's, that's a lot of protein for her. So, yeah,
listen,
I agree.
I'm reading this and I'm kind of like,
ladies, get your protein.
if you're trying to have kids,
Right.
This is what a doctor.
Why not go in both ways?
Listen, my cousin said he paid that doctor to say that.
Right. Why not go in both ways now? You know what I mean? I agree with this doctor.
Listen. So that made me get to Googling because, I have, a master's degree in Google.
Okay.
I will Google some shit. So I'm like, what are the health benefits of semen, right? Okay. And I came across this article and it said that semen is the antidepressant.
Yeah. I read that too.
Women didn't know they need it. So it contains a high level of one of the hormones that's in an antidepressant. And it was saying that women who, have unprotected sex, and this is in no way a push for unprotected sex.
Right.
This is just what the study showed. It was like a study of like 293 women.
Right.
Women who had unprotected sex and didn't sleep alone were happier than their counterparts, right?
Totally agree.
And so they are getting this semen antidepressant into their body.
Right.
And what they're saying is that the research is showing that it makes women happier.
Yeah.
Okay. So me hearing this information, my mind automatically goes to what happens when you're off your antidepressants. Have you ever known somebody who took antidepressants and then were off?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is why a woman gets attached to a man. Because if you start, so once you get past the condom part of the relationship, because the condom part is what, 3 times? The fourth time?
3 times, yeah. It just depends on, I guess it depends on the energy,
whatever.
I mean?
So maybe you got 3 times.
Sometimes they might break.
3 times condom, then 4th times, all bets are off. And then once you see nothing happens, it's just how you live your life. So,
rolling the dice.
You just rolling the dice, Russian roulette. Or, lots of women are on both birth control. So when they feel safe enough, they're okay with, taking off the protection.
Before you say what you're going to say, I don't recommend certain birth controls and IUDs and IUDs because I think that it's causing damage to the health. I'm not.
Yeah, they get stuck in women and all kinds of shit.
Right.
But listen, so this unprotected sex and the fact that women are being dosed up on antidepressants. Mm-hmm. This is why women act crazy when you spend too much time apart. Wow. When, just think about the relationship. Okay, so I'm going to say in my own experience, the guys that I dated and was serious with and we never took the condom off, I could throw them away so easily.
Right.
So easily.
Yeah.
No matter how great they were. It would just be kind of like, you know what I'm saying? There was like no real attachment for me.
That plastic.
Now that I have this information and I think about the guys where it wasn't that, it's like, oh my God, it was so much more attachment, even though they weren't even like the best people.
Right.
Do you get
what I'm saying is, was it that feeling because of the ejaculation going inside or the meat?
I don't know, but what I'm saying, no.
Okay.
It wasn't like the ones that, where like it was lacking. It was just, that's where we was at with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We didn't never cross into, and so what I'm saying is it was so much easier. Like I never wanted to double back. I never thought about them again. They were just like, they didn't even exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that barrier is real protection, ladies.
Condom sex is pretty. It's not natural. So I mean,
yeah. So what I'm saying though, for women, this is important information because this is telling us what we always knew when we talk about soul ties and we talk about all these things involving sex, and they just sound like theories. But now doctors have actually been able to say that there's even science that backs it up, that you are being given basically an antidepressant. And we know that when you can't just take a person off their antidepressant, they have to be weaned off of it.
But see, now we go back to the laws of nature, right? The woman's vagina is acidic and sperm is alkaline. So we got acid and alkaline. We need both to coexist, right? And now when you bring them together, naturally, this is what it's supposed to be. So when you take it away and put a condom on and
yes, but what you're talking about is something different. What I'm talking about is for women and the need to wear them, because you don't need to get attached to a man unless you guys are going to be together. But a lot of times women are getting attached to a man and they not going to be with them. Like, they have so many problems. It's so toxic. Listen, just wear a condom. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say wear a condom to protect yourself from fucking sexually transmitted antidepressants.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of deep right there.
Some real shit.
It
like,
is that deep.
I sat back and I was like in awe, because I'm like, I've never been attached to a man if we use condoms, ever. Like, ever. Literally could literally, if I'm writing down whoever I ever slept with, I could literally forget all of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But them ones where you had that type of connection and you did that, and then you would double back to them too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a longing.
I mean, everybody
it
likes.
doesn't matter the size. One could be kind of small. It could be kind of, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. But it's like a connectivity.
But everybody likes to have sex raw if they can.
But what I'm saying
but wait.
Have sex raw, but know that you're going to love and be with that person, because doing it with people that you're not going to love and be with, it has deeper connectivity that you might not want to have. And I shouldn't even say connectivity. It's not connection. It's attachment.
It's trust.
And attachment is
trust.
not good. No, we're talking about trust.
It is trust.
No, you're talking about something else. I'm talking about being attached to somebody. Attachments aren't healthy. It's not healthy to be attached to somebody who's toxic to you.
I'm telling you,
women are being attached to men that are toxic for them.
I agree with that. I'm
saying just wear a condom, and it may, perhaps, I could be wrong, right? But perhaps it could help you not to have these attachments with these men.
Okay,
it's a different level of protection is all I'm saying.
So when you move on, right? Now you got to go back to that condom theory of life, right?
What are you talking about when you move on?
Well, I'm saying when you move on to, you said when you don't double back because because guys that you sleep with raw makes you feel a certain way versus how a guy.
Guys, so let's just say you were involved in a relationship with a man and you guys had raw sex, right? And you had this unnatural, unreal attachment to him that you couldn't even figure out why you even liked him most of the time. Right? You finally break free from that. All I'm saying is condom.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying the reason why they keep doubling back is because it's the level of trust. Because when you move on, you don't trust the next person like that into a certain amount of time. But once you in it, you're in it. So now,
are you speaking from a woman's perspective?
No, I'm speaking from a man's perspective.
But when a woman doubles back, it's not just because of that. She doubles back because she still got feelings.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So she's doubling back because she still has feelings. She still has attachment issues. So she's doubling back because of that. So what I'm saying is just prevent yourself, especially when you're crazy about that man, like keep that condom on till y'all are.
I think
until you met his parents and
I think they're doubling back.
His kids and all of that shit. Like make sure you know that this is something that has a solid foundation, that it's real, because that attachment shit is not fun.
I think they're doubling back because they want that raw dick. But whatever.
Yes. Okay. That's the whole point. It's the antidepressant and the rawness.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're saying the same thing.
They have feelings too. Right. Or at least they think that they do.
Well, they should. So they should just say they have feelings, though. A lot of time, women.
What are you arguing then? I don't understand. If we saying the same things, what are you arguing?
No. What I was trying to say is, you saying don't move. I mean, don't move on. Go back. And I'm saying the reason why they go back is because of the trust level.
Don't move on. Go back.
Hold on. No, you said move on. Don't go back. Right.
Yes.
And I'm saying the reason why what I think they go back is because the level of trust
It's not trust.
It's not trust.
Sex. It's just the sex. They do like the raw sex. They do like the feeling of the attachment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They've already gone there, but it's not like trust. They don't trust them. They be thinking this nigga doing 30 different bitches.
So wait a minute. So women will have sex raw, thinking that he's doing 30 other women the same way. Oh, okay.
Sure they will. For sure they
will. I think women need to just be more honest in what they want.
Okay, that's a different subject. We're not about to leave this subject until this point is being taken seriously.
We taking this serious.
This antidepressant raw sex shit.
No, I agree with it.
Protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. Protect yourself the whole time until you know that it's a serious relationship.
So who do you think want to fuck raw first? Men or women?
Everybody.
No. Somebody got to want to fuck raw more
I
than.
would say probably women but I don't know how it feels for you guys on your end. I know how it feels for me on my end. It's not terrible, but it's just not as good.
Right.
So if like the sex is a 10, if the sex is a 10 without a condom, with a condom, it's like an 8.
Okay.
It's not really terribly bad.
Right.
But it's just different.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, through my experiences,
Mm-hmm.
the woman always asks me to take it off first.
Yeah. Some people have like real irritation from them.
Right.
You know, like the material, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
People have told me that.
You can't have it. I'm allergic to latex.
I've never had that problem, but
Right.
I know women who have told me they're sensitive. None of them feel right, but I magnums.
Right. I had someone tell me they were allergic to the magnums.
Yeah.
So I had to try to adjust, but then man, it's so terrible.
Yeah. So that's just my plea. I just like I read that and it was just like so mind blowing for me because it's like it's not something I ever considered. But then when I looked at the statistics in my own personal life, it was like, yeah.
Okay.
It makes you more attached. I can see that it can make you feel more attached. Okay. Because you've gone that way. And then here it is, a whole chemical thing going on where you feel clingy. Because I don't feel like I'm clingy, but to those men, I have been clingy. Mm. You know what I'm saying? If I don't see you in a week, I'm mad.
Oh,
and now I want to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's that weaning off.
I had an issue like that before.
My dose.
I had an issue like that before. That a woman didn't see me for a week, and
she wanted to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, but it's like she said I ghost her, but we got each other's phone numbers. We were friends on the internet. And I could see her post. She could see my post. And just for those 5 days, she was like, you ghost me and, don't ever speak to me again. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh.
5 days? I didn't get it.
Involved in a sexual relationship, so why you ain't reach out to her for 5 days?
Well, why she didn't reach out for me?
No, I'm asking you.
No,
she's not here. I can't ask her. So
you know. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because of the lies of the fake complaints. Oh, you see what I mean? Oh, all you want to do is do this. All you want to do is do that. Oh, this is all you want to do. Okay, let me give you. Let's take a break then. How about that? And let's just take a break. Because this is the shit that you're complaining about.
So you told her you want to take a break, or you just took one?
Well, I listened to the complaints, and I kind of just like, okay, well, if she wasn't calling me, then maybe this is something that time to relax. Because I'm listening to everything. I was listening to everything issue that she was talking about at the time.
Yeah, but prior to that, did you always reach out first?
I'm not gonna say first, but It was kind of mutual. No, really, it was kind of mutual.
Yeah, I know. Women, we hate pattern changes.
Right.
We love for our pattern to be consistent. If I talk to you at 7:15 every morning and 4:15 every day, and we go a whole day,
right,
and we don't even talk, but we talk at 9:00,
right,
and then the next day at 8:30, and all of a sudden it's not 7:15, 4:15. I'm like, who is he talking to at 7:15, 4:15? Right. There's been a pattern change. But there's been a shift in the matrix.
But women have to stop saying things. Stop complaining about things that they really don't mean. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Just from a guy's perspective, women like nag and talk about, not all women, You know what I'm saying? But women nag and talk about shit that they don't like. They don't want to do this and don't want to do that. And then they really want to do it. It's almost like everything is the opposite.
What? Give me an example.
Food. I don't want to eat this. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. Or I don't want nothing to eat. And then you come with you have some food and you eat the exact portion that your stomach told you that you want to eat. And all of a sudden a motherfucker wants to eat. Or something wrong.
I will never do that to a man again. I had an experience.
I don't like that shit.
Listen. Went out with this gentleman. It was late. It was like 10 o'clock. We went to play pool. And I had not eaten all day. I was like busy. You know, I get busy. And so we get out there and play pool. And he's like, do you want something to eat? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think I'll just order me some cheese sticks.
Right.
You know. And he orders himself nothing. I told him, like, I should eat something because we about to drink. So order me some cheese sticks. Because I was like, I haven't even ate all day. And he ordered the cheese sticks. So we playing pool. And I eat a cheese stick. And then he eats one. And I'm like, did he not hear me say I didn't eat all day? Like, why would he eat a cheese stick? So I let that fly. I'm like, all right, whatever. He ate one. It's like 6 of them. That's cool. So we talking. And then he eats another cheese stick. And then he double dipped the ranch.
See, that double dipping that took him out the game, right?
Took him out the game. Like at this point, I'm kind of disgusted. And there was like one left, and I just slid the thing over to him, like, and he ate it.
Right.
I was like, this is terrible. So it made me think of all the times, like, you know, a guy be like, you want something to eat? And you like, no. Then he bring home something and you eat all the fries or you eat half the burger.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I will never do that again to a guy. Right. That is a terrible feeling when you're hungry.
Right.
And somebody eats part of your food.
You know what you want. You know what
and you feel like you couldn't tell them, like, well, no, I don't want to share.
Right. Or then the other thing is, if you ask them, is something wrong? And they say, no, ain't nothing wrong. When it's really something wrong. That's
when we don't really want to nag. Like, we know we've nagged a lot. And so we're like, I don't really want to nag. Yeah. But I'm going to just act a funny way. So he notices it. But then when he asks me, I'm going to tell him it's nothing.
Right. See, I mean, it has to be a clear level of communication.
Yes, that's something we all want.
For my brain.
Yeah. But I feel like men do something that I don't like too, which is the shutting down shit. Oh, yeah. Like, you guys have to give a woman some grace. So, meaning if I have a moment of poor communication, then you need to set the tone right there.
All right, I'm gonna shut down.
Yeah, that's not fair.
What you mean is not fair?
Listen to me. That's not fair because perhaps this is something that she's always done and gotten away with. You're her man now. So you need to tell her, like, I don't get down like that. You know, we're not doing this. Like, you need to set the tone of what you want and what is acceptable to you at that point. If she fails after that, okay, shut down. But y'all will shut down after the first time that y'all see that she has, like, a communication problem about something. Okay. And to me, that's not fair. Like, give me some grace in a learning curve for how you like shit to be said to you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I, like, just genuinely don't know. But y'all will shut down and then y'all just will never communicate. And so now you have a relationship where you never say anything because that one time you tried to talk to me about something and I reacted inappropriately and you're not giving me a second chance. Our relationship is going to fail like this. Like, you're setting our relationship up for failure if we don't fix this. Like, this has to be fixed for us to have a successful relationship. But men a lot of times won't fix it. And I don't know if it's something they're trying to use as an entitlement later. I cheated on you because she would listen. She would listen to me. You ain't listen to me that one time on February 3rd, 2022. I tried to explain to you.
They never let it go, huh?
And y'all just never let it go. And y'all you have to have some grace with your woman when it comes to communication and teaching her how to communicate properly with you.
I like when
vice versa.
I like when a woman communicates, but I just don't pretend to be a certain way and not be that way. Yeah. I'm not the one who can get with the confusion. You know, I just be straight up and tell me what it is because I'm a natural problem solver. Yeah. So if I know the problem, I will solve it. But if I don't know the problem, and now you're prolonging the issue of what's going on, and I hate that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the other side of the coin. Is just like everybody talks that communication shit, but when it comes down to it, there's these deficits. A man shutting down, a woman complaining too much or nagging too much, or not being forthright with what is really going on. And I think something that women has to understand is when a man is asking you, that's when you tell him.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? So that's actually when he wants to know.
Right.
Not when your random ass just come out the blue.
Oh, yeah.
With all this emotional shit, but when he's asking you, that's when to tell him.
Right.
So that I think that's a good message for the viewers.
Perfect timing.
How to feel? Tell him.
Yeah.
That's the time.
Perfect time, and he's going to go out his way. I mean, especially if he's if he feels he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Or knows that he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
No, I had this thing with myself personally. If you come at me on something, it better be right, because I'm very remorseful if I'm in the wrong.
Yeah.
But if you come at me wrong and I'm in the right,
What happens?
no, I'm gonna go off as far as you go feel it. Like, don't ever accuse me of anything.
Vengeful over here?
No. What I'm saying is, don't ever accuse me of anything and be wrong. You better be right, because the hell that's gonna come behind that, I'm gonna make you feel it. You better be right. If that makes sense. Just be right about it.
I'm like,
because I don't like to be. Don't bother me with issues.
Yeah.
What that
nobody likes to be accused.
Yeah,
that's like a terrible feeling.
Yeah,
because now you feel like you got to watch everything you do all of a sudden.
Right.
Because some motherfucker be making something out of something that's absolutely nothing, and you're
Right.
like, what? This is why I'm getting treated like
Oh
this?
man.
Yeah.
No, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling that.
There was a Instagram that was being shared repeatedly, and it said, people that tell the truth don't mind being questioned. It's the lion MFs that get mad. I said, this is the furthest thing from the truth.
Right. Hold on, say it again.
It said, people who tell the truth don't mind being questioned. It's the lion MFs that don't want to be questioned. And I'm like, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Right. That's way further.
I'm like the most honest person to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like being questioned.
Don't question me.
When I start to feel like I'm being questioned,
right.
like this is an interrogation.
Yes.
Oh, it's over. I'm not answering shit else.
Yeah.
I don't care what the subject is. Like, no, I don't like that. And I think that comes from being honest, because you're like, why are you doing this to me?
No, don't ask me no questions.
Yeah.
I'm an open book. So I put everything out there anyway. So it's like,
because I'm going to just come out like, what are you thinking I did?
Right.
Just come on with it. Because we not about to sit here and ask me 30 questions.
Don't beat around the bush.
Yeah. What is it? What's going on?
Right.
What did you see or hear? What?
That's that Leo energy.
Yeah. I don't appreciate that. Well, I tried to date in these ghetto Mercury retrograde streets.
So how's that going?
And I had met somebody, and he was cool. We had like 2 dates. But then it was like a pattern started to present itself, and I'm just kind of like, one thing that I'm big on these days is accountability of myself and of others. And it is a struggle when you think about what accountability is. It is not having a fucking excuse.
Right.
Like, so, if I arrive to something of yours and I'm late and I try to tell you 20 excuses, I really shouldn't do that. I should really say, I apologize. It was inconsiderate for me being late, and I won't be late again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's accountability. But if you say, well, I was trying to get my car off the driveway and there was a dog there and he wouldn't move, and so I had to get out and physically move. You know what I'm saying? You telling all these reasons of why you did something instead of just being apologetic about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Accountable for the fact that, okay, maybe all this happened, but you still, in fact, were late.
That's the main issue.
Accountability is a big thing for me, and it's something that I am like conscious of. I try to be conscious of. I try to be conscious of if I project on the people. That was something I wanted to talk about too, was projection. A lot of people project. onto people. I've had a lot of things projected onto me in my life. So for me growing up, young lady, people were always accusing me of being like conceited or stuck up,
Right.
without even knowing me. So to grow up and have something like this constantly projected onto you, and you're just like a young woman with tons of insecurities, but yet everybody is projecting
See something else. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of the ways I can say it affects me, like I can't go out in public and be like, oh, taking the selfies and stuff like that. Like if you notice, even when I take them in duo, I'm always kind of like tucked in the corner and kind of hiding. I don't really want nobody to see me doing it because I want to be like, that bitch thinks she all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I hate that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see people out in public, you know, recording and doing all the cute shit. I'm like, man, I could never do that. But it's literally because people have projected this self-image onto me that was never true. But I'm like so sensitive to it.
It wasn't that it wasn't true as far as the negative aspects of it. They just saw something that we don't see, we don't have in our minds or think of ourselves. So, you know, they see a certain thing and we just like, oh, I'm just normal. I mean, like, you know, like this is, you know, this is my regular self.
But it's like people would say back in the day, like somebody like, you think you all that? Like, no, you think I'm all that.
Right.
Because I never said that.
Right.
Like I'm literally just here chilling, existing.
Right.
You know, thinking about what color shoelaces I'm gonna get for my Nikes. You know what I'm saying? Like you talking about somebody think they all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that projecting shit. Like I hate it so much. But I have to talk about this dating experience and then we can go because this was, you know, again, accountability. So I meet this guy. We went out on like 2 dates, right? So we had another date planned. The date was supposed to be on a Wednesday.
Okay.
At 8:00. We had this planned. And so Wednesday came around and it was like 7:20 and he texted me at 7:20 telling me that he couldn't make it. Something came up, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm being understanding because, you know, it's the last minute. Yeah, I just got dressed, but okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? This is also a man who pretty much demanded that we had to talk on the phone. Now, you're my friend. Dave, if he sat here, he's my friend. How often do you talk to me on the phone?
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, he don't like texting. He prefer to talk on the phone. So we're talking on the phone because he wants to. But it's low-key irritating me because the stuff we're talking about on this phone call, we could be talking on a text. Like we're not saying anything of a serious nature that could be miscommunicated really. We talking about sports, we talking about whatever. But I'm doing it because this is his leadership. I'm following it. This is what he want to do. I'm doing it.
Let me interject with that whole feminine energy to me sometimes will make person do stuff that they don't typically do.
Yeah.
Right. So just because you're comfortable texting, get on the phone, and then if you're a talker on the phone, send me a text. So if feminine energy would just have you doing everything opposite of. Have the masculine energy doing everything opposite of what they normally do. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so, so we're talking on the phone. When he wants to talk on the phone, he'll text me and be like, can you talk now? All right, fine. He'll call. We'll talk. Again, no conversations that couldn't have been had by text. Right. But whatever. This is what you want. Cool. Whatever. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. So 7:20, the day of the date, he cancels. I'm like, all right, cool. And then we rescheduled to Sunday because, I work Thursday through Saturday. Right. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I don't hear from him all day Thursday. And then Friday, I'm at work and I'm like, it was slow that day. Right. So I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, dang, I ain't heard from him. So I sent him a text like, hey. And he sent me one back like, oh, hey, what you doing? I'm at, so-and-so soul club right now. But I really, if you don't mind, I want to come up there and, see you because I wish I could see you more, blah, blah, blah. And in my mind, I'm kind of like, well, that's I wouldn't ask nobody to come where they be. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not me. Like, he dances. Okay. So I'm not going to ask you to come to Paradise on Tuesday. That's your night that you dance with your friends. Like, I don't want to be there. So that'd be kind of weird. Right. But he asked to come. So again, I'm like, okay, sure. Come on up here. You know what I'm saying? Do you want some food? Order it by 10:45. I put an order for you. All right, cool. So I ended up getting off early that night because it was slow.
Okay.
And so got off and I'm like about to leave. I'm like, oh shit, like he ain't got here yet. Let me text him and see where he at. Text, no answer. I'm like, hey, I got off early, blah, blah, blah. You still coming? Didn't hear from him at all.
Okay.
The next day he sent me a text about, he got so drunk where he was at and he just went home and fell asleep.
Okay.
So I'm just like, okay, this ain't cool.
But
whatever.
Is that a normal trait?
I don't know him that well.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we've only been out twice and have been talking for maybe 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. Let that brush off. Come Sunday, we're supposed to go off. I canceled the date because I was too tired. Because Saturday ended up being really busy, kicked my butt. Mm-hmm. Sunday, I had so much stuff to do to prepare for work that I hadn't done. So I was too tired to go out. So I told him that, too tired to go out. He didn't respond at all. And then I didn't hear from him that whole week. And then Friday morning, he texted me like, can I see you before work?
Oh, he said it like that?
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Can I see you before work? You go to work? And I'm like, no thanks, but have a great day. And then he starts sending me texts. What? Why you say it like this? What'd I do to you? You said it like I did something to you.
Right.
And so then I explained to him everything that happened. Like, you canceled the last minute, then you asked to come somewhere, and then you didn't show. So basically, you stood me up twice, kind of, which this ain't even cool.
Right.
Like, nobody, because I don't even have time. And you know that. I've told you, I work 60 hours a week damn near sometimes. So, like, the time I'm giving you,
But I think that might be the issue, though.
What's the issue?
But not having time. Like, sometimes when we get busy, mm-hmm. and don't have time for people, then they take that a certain way.
But no, that's not right, because I've given you time and you squandered it twice. You canceled the date at the last minute. You asked to come to my job. I said okay, and then you got drunk instead with your friends and didn't make it and didn't cancel and then tell me you weren't coming. That's two things.
How many times has he tried to get your time that you were too busy, though?
That didn't happen. Every time that we've tried to get a date, we got one.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So, right. All right. So we're knowing the schedule that we're working on. So whatever has happened like it was supposed to, except him squandering the last two meetups, right?
Right.
And so, I tell him about the whole situation and like, how I felt about it. And, he's just making all these excuses to me and then sending me videos of him partying at the club and being drunk. And look, this is what was happening. And, my people was going out of town and they made me stay. Like, you a grown ass man. Can't nobody make you stay nowhere.
Right.
You gotta be old boy from Goodwill hunting and tell them niggas you got to see about a girl.
Right.
God damn it. You know what I'm saying? But the tip of the iceberg was what he said. He said, you didn't seem that interested anyways. That to me shows me how much you lack accountability. You could have said that 2 weeks ago if that's what you felt, but you take the opportunity to say that to me when I'm telling you about yourself and things that you did in fact do, instead of just being accountable. Because if he would have said to me, you know what, Kathy, I'm sorry, those things were inconsiderate, and I'll be more considerate moving forward of your time because I realize you don't have so much time. I'd have been like, cool. But you ain't say that. You giving me every excuse in the book, and I don't roll like that. Accountability. I don't have time.
But in his defense, from a guy's defense, if you don't, if that energy come off, guys like the women to be, like showing that interest in like they want to see them, because like most of the time women be wanting like, where you at? Come on. But they don't understand. Like I said, if you don't understand a busy person or a person that independent, got their own stuff going on, it takes a certain level of understanding for that. So he's probably used to when he dates somebody, they on his head and X, Y, and Z, and that's what he's used to. Yeah,
that's not me ever with anybody.
I already know.
So, that being said, I talked to you on the phone several times. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that knows me would be like, what? If he told a guy, like, he talked to me and, like, he talks to me on the phone, they'd be like, he lying. Right.
And
he'd be like, she don't answer
I'd be like,
phone.
hey, call me, Kathy. Call me.
So it's like I actually did that for you. And sometimes people don't really know that you're making like the little sacrifices or compromises in order for it. And I can understand that. But I do not appreciate you bringing that up in that instance.
Okay.
Because that was lack of accountability.
Well, you know, everybody
That
go,
don't have
everybody gonna
nothing
get
to do
on
with
defensive mode.
I'm not about to be on your dick. You ain't gave me one single reason.
So what would take for him to get you to feel that way? Like, what type of energy? Like a date
I don't know, but
in your
he
face?
didn't have it. So
I'm saying, well, can he get in your space to be able to get you on that tip?
you know what? If he would have said what I said he should have said, then that would make me be on.
Ah, shit.
Because I'd be like, damn, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to be on some lack of accountability shit, and he flipped it on me.
I'm big on lack of
Damn.
accountability.
You big on lack of accountability?
Yeah, I'm big on lack of accountability. Not me personally, but like people having lack of accountability. I'm big on that.
Why?
Because people need to be accountable for their bullshit.
Oh, so you're big on accountability.
Oh shit, yeah, my bad. I said that wrong. Excuse me.
I'm over here confused.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Excuse me?
I said that wrong.
You like that? What, you got some kind of fetish?
No, I don't want no whoopings.
Anyways, that is our time. And I like that we left out on accountability because that's important. And that's what I'm on.
I love accountability, and I want people to own up to their shit.
Own your shit.
And handle your business.
And handle your business.
And you fucking contractors, this is personal.
Oh,
you fucking contractors that's been bullshitting, handle your business.
Handle your business.
You know what time it is.
It is that deep.
It is that deep. Peace out.